But we may have cracked the case.
As we do.
We're always cracking cases,
solving
Tom.
all these mysteries.
You know.
Oh, speaking of things that are being cracked, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter came up in conversation last night.
Yeah, as I mentioned to you, Harry Potter's heavily cancelled now as a character, not as a book.
So show your work.
So Harry Potter, the individual, is very problematic.
Problematic.
He shows huge amounts of what's it called? Privilege.
Privilege.
Yes.
Okay.
So
he's got a few pound in the bank, like.
That's one of his privileges.
Yes.
Rich boy privilege. In front of Ron, he buys the entire sweet trolley. Who only has the lot. Yeah, we'll take the lot. Yeah, remember in front of a boy who's had to pack his own food for a 9-hour train journey to Scotland.
It'd be shitty sandwiches.
Yeah.
In cling film.
Yeah, and then he makes it even more problematic by sharing it with Ron, thereby implying ownership over Ron. He's feeding Ron the same way you would a pet.
Oh, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
So, and he makes Ron as wee doggy boy kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you ever are in that situation, number one, first of all, don't buy loads of sweets.
Yes.
Second of all, make the poor person watch you eat. Don't feed them.
That's rule number one.
Yeah, that's rule number
Isn't
one.
It?
Privilege. Rule number two. He.
Let's have another glass of this.
Let's have a reload of this.
Put my mic down for a moment, so I can.
Delicious stuff.
I'll probably get picked up on your mic anyway, right?
Yeah.
So he's privileged. He's a rich boy. He does Ron dirty by feeding him lots of chocolates.
Yeah.
Spoiling him.
He also
bombing him. You could say.
He also gets away with a lot of ignorance, willful ignorance.
Willful ignorance.
Yeah. Or is willful? Yeah, that's enough. That's enough.
Okay. Oh, Jesus.
So, for example, when Hermione gets called Mudblood.
Yes.
First of all, I don't know why she's upset about that, because that's in the second year of Hogwarts, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 18 months ago, she didn't even know wizards existed.
That's a good point, actually.
So why is she so upset about being called Mudblood? And then secondly, Harry comes along, and he's just like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Yeah, why is that so bad? Yeah, like, oh, you don't know it's a swear word? If you don't know, keep your mouth shut. Do you know what I mean?
You're on shaky ground here, though.
No.
Let's remember, Potter at this point is but a child. He's what age is he? 13? 12. 12 in the second year in Hogwarts. So the thing is, you have to give him a wee bit of a bye ball. He's grown up with the Muggles.
Yeah.
He's been living under the stairs. He's probably been battered by Uncle Vernon for years.
Yeah. Well, my theory is that he was so badly abused as a child that by the time he was 11, he'd completely psychologically broke, and all of this wizarding bullshit, like his parents are heroes and stuff,
is a figment of his
imagination to cover up the years and years of brutal sexual abuse that he's probably been suffering under the Uncle Vernon's house.
Fuck. That's really dark.
Yeah.
That's very dark.
I'm gonna take over the world with magic, Uncle Vernon. You'll see. You'll see.
I'll sort you out.
Yeah.
Fucking, huh? Oh, Dudley. Dudley was a little bollocks too, wasn't he?
Stabbing Dudley in the stomach over and over again, screaming Avada Kedavra when he's 15 years old.
But here, listen, so, okay, he's a problematic guy because he's got a few pound. He treats Ron like a wee fucking manslave fella.
Yeah.
He's ignorant.
Yeah, like
but is
blissfully ignorant. He doesn't want to educate himself.
He doesn't want to educate himself. You think?
Yeah. It is his fault.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is his fault. Harry Potter cancelled. Heavy cancellation for Harry Potter.
You heard it here first. Harry Potter's cancelled, and don't get us started on J.K. Don't get us bloody started on her.
TERF.
Huh?
She's a TERF, is she?
I believe so. Yeah.
What does TERF stand for?
Trans exclusionary.
Yeah.
Radical feminist.
Right.
Yeah. So she doesn't believe that trans women are women.
Right.
Okay. So there you go. And she spouts. The people argue with her. She gets in the arguments on Twitter and all this kind of bollocks. I don't pay any attention to it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
to be fair, I like the Harry Potter stories.
Yeah.
I liked them when I was a kid, and I still like them.
Well, you can't stop reading things because the person who wrote them is bad.
Yeah.
Lord of the Rings.
Half the pantheon would be fucking.
Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
Oh, good to you.
What is it? The story about Tolkien when he wrote The Hobbit.
Yes.
And he didn't have like this idea for Lord of the Rings in his head when he wrote The Hobbit. He just made The Hobbit up as he went along.
Oh, it was a standalone sort of thing.
Yeah, and then the Nazis read it and they loved it.
The Nazis loved it
because the whole of Middle Earth was like a stand-in for Europe, and the Nazis were really into it. They wrote him letters saying like, "We really loved your book and we love your depiction of Jewish people as these dwarves, these money grabbing and he was like, "Oh no, that's not what I mean." So that's why dwarves in the Lord of the Rings are super different, and the Lord of the Rings tonally is so different.
Yeah, he famously detested allegory.
What does that mean?
So he didn't want his work to be interpreted as like symbolic of this or that.
Yeah,
or the other,
yeah.
He was like, "Oh, it's my fucking imagination. It's a story." That sort of way. Like,
yeah,
he didn't want to insert like political things into his work and stuff like that.
But like, it is very allegorical.
It is though. Yeah. Obviously, I think it is because, but it's not necessarily by design, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah.
But like it kind of is, despite itself.
He's got that.
There's definitely quotes of him talking about not liking allegory and stuff like that.
I mean, when you poke into it, it's full of holes, isn't it? Like, orcs yelling, "Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys," in an entire universe which doesn't have restaurants. That really rubbed me up the wrong way the first time I heard that.
There are some parts of it that make you kind of step out of it a bit. Like, hold on a second. What does he know about menus? Was he down the Chinese?
Yeah, exactly. That makes sense.
Has Saruman opened the bistro in Isengard? I don't think so.
Like the men of Minas Tirith living in this sort of weird medieval era next door to the men of Rohan, who are sort of Anglo-Saxons, and they're all at war. Yeah, and they're all at war with like the orcs, who are on sort of like a Mongolian nomadic tribal level, and then just for one small corner of Middle Earth, there's the hobbits, who seem to be in the industrial era with water wheels, fireworks, gunpowder, and they're not taking over the world. Because the whole thing about it is the hobbits just have no desire, and that's why they can carry the ring, right?
Yeah, they just want to have a few meals a day, or more than a few. Smoke the old pipe weed.
Yeah. They just want the crack. Do you know who the hobbits might be allegorical for? Yeah, the Irish. The hobbits are just the Irish. But make no mistake, like, if the hobbits ever stopped getting high,
they got their shit together.
They got fucking gunpowder.
This is it.
They've got mills and stuff, like water wheels.
Mm-hmm.
They live in fucking bunkers. They're Middle-earth sleeper force. They're like real-world India. Like, keep your eye on them.
Keep your eye on the little fellas. This is it. Well, that's what they say. Fucking, that's why God invented alcohol. Stop the Irish from taking over the fucking world. Right?
I believe it. I believe it.
Oh, Jesus. Well, anyway, there you go. So, what we're saying is here, look into your popular stories and icons.
Yeah.
There's problematic stuff in there.
Take popular stories and icons, cancel them.